When I was a little boy, around 5 years old, I remember I used to play with my neighborhood friends in each other's house. One day, I went to a friend's house. After some time, his mom offered me a cookie. At that time, I was reminded of my mom's advice never to accept food from strangers. So I politely refused the cookie. But she wouldn't let go. She increased the offer from 1 cookie to 3 cookies. Hey, refusing 1 cookie was easy, but this is 3 cookies we are talking about. What a tough decision I had to make at such a young age. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests, today the topic is how to make tough decisions. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to categorize various situations that we come across in life into 3 distinct types. And for each type, I'm going to explain how to make those decisions, followed with some examples. But why should decision making be so tough after all? Isn't it common sense that you consider the situation, think of the various alternatives, and for each alternative, weigh the pros and cons, and based on this analysis, you would make a decision that makes the most sense, right? Rational thinking and logical analysis. But what if there are other situations that do not lend themselves for this rational thinking and logical analysis? What do you do in those situations? For example, when I was fresh out of college, I was looking for a job in the chemical industry. You might ask, why chemical industry? I just graduated from chemistry, so I was looking for that in that industry. Pretty soon, I found a job as a salesperson in a pharmaceutical firm. In the meanwhile, based on a friend's advice, I got myself qualified for a computer programming course from a very reputed programming institute. Now the question is, do I take up this readily available salesman job or invest $5,000 more into this new course and hope to find a job in this new industry? Very tough decision. Again, you might say, hey, this is very simple. A bird in hand is better than 2 in the bush, right? But deep down in my heart, I had a feeling that this is not right. Something else I might be missing, and I wanted to think about it. So I was asking my parents, I was asking my friends, and together we asked other friends. For example, we asked the doctor, and the doctor said, look, this is so simple. All you have to do is financial analysis. Let's say in the next 5 years, think of which job will fetch you more money. Not bad, but is money everything in a job? No. So I kept thinking on this. I continued this search until one day I met this lady out of the blue, a total stranger, and I asked her this question. And she said, do what you like to do. I want you to repeat after me. Do what you like to do.
Do what you like to do.
Thank you. Now, having thought of that, this is now kind of getting simple. Back in my high school days, that was when the programming course was first introduced in the school. And at that time, I loved the subject so much. It was so interesting. In fact, that was the only class I wasn't sleeping in. But they discontinued the course because it wasn't going to appear in the final exam. I was so disappointed. But look at me. 3 years later, I'm now having this opportunity to pursue my passion. Now the new question here is, do I pursue my passion or go door-to-door selling drugs to doctors? I chose a passion and I chose the programming industry. And looking back at it 25 years later, after a very successful career as a programmer, the advice that she gave on that day is excellent. Moving on, there could be a third type of situation where initially it seems that the situation lends itself for rational thinking and logical analysis. But what if you end up with multiple solutions? For example, back in 2002, when I was looking for a house, my my wife and I, we both went around the market and looking at several houses with them, comparing all of them based on several factors such as food district, the price of the house, the size of the house, you name it, all the typical factors. At the end of all this analysis, we found 2 houses that match all these criteria perfectly well. Which house to buy? That was the question. At that time, I was reminded of my grandfather's quote. He said, when in doubt, listen to your heart for instruction. Now, can you all repeat after me? When in doubt, listen to your heart for instructions.
When in doubt, listen to your heart for instructions.
There we go. Now, I know exactly what to do. We both went back to each one of those 2 houses, and we bought the house that my wife liked to stay. We in fact stayed in that house for about 10 years before we moved to Maryland. So, ladies and gentlemen, so we have seen 3 situations where 2 out of those 3 are very tough decisions, and in both those situations, it was a heart that told us the answers. It was a heart that had all the answers and it gave us its proper direction. After all, my heart may be on the left, but its judgment is always right.